Well, good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, of course, I am repping. You already see the Cowboys. We won last night, actually beat down the Giants. And so this morning, it's a continuation of our NFL Sunday Ticket church day yesterday, where our whole congregation gets together and wear our jersey of our favorite team. And so yesterday I wore somebody else's jersey, but this morning I got to wear the Cowboys jersey. So don't know who your team is, but my team did win. And so that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Next in line, because that's what we spoke about on yesterday. I'm going to give you the text to talk and the takeaway. And before I do that, I want to greet some people and just see whether or not your team won yesterday. Did your team win yesterday? Or you might not even be into football. Brother Nesbitt, I know your team won. I know you are elated. You need to settle down because calm down. I mean, y'all beat them in the ground. I bet you don't even know how to act today. Good morning, Angela. How are you? Not the Cowboys. Come on, Angela. Give me a break. I mean, really? Come on. Brother Joe, how are you on this morning? Pastor Richard, how are you on this morning? What a great morning it is. Ella, how are you on this morning? Yes, I am repping the Cowboys on this morning. You already know that it was NFL Sunday Ticket yesterday at New Life, and we had a wonderful time. And I spoke a word that I always continue on Monday, whatever I spoke on Sunday. So that's what we're going to do. Good morning, Erica. How are you? Thank you so much for going down to New Life Columbus. Shout out to New Life Columbus. Shout out to New Life Columbus. They got their new space on yesterday, had their first worship in that new space. Really proud of what God is doing in their lives down in Georgia, down in Columbus, Georgia. I almost said Warner Robins, almost said thinking of wisdom there. Well, let me just greet some more folk and then get right to the worship. Jill, how are you on this morning? That's right, Elder Jan, that's right, go Cowboys. Y'all already know. Who's your team? Who's your team? Did your team win yesterday? Did your team win? Put it in the chat area. Then we're going to get right down to business with the morning manna. We're going to get right down. Next in line. Who's your team? Who's your team? I want to see somebody pop up some stuff. Are you a Cowboy fan? That's already know. Right there. You see it right there. All right, Brenda. Okay, that's right. Cowboys fan. Okay, y'all want to be shy. You want to hate on us. All right. Jewel, you are a Cowboy fan. Great. Great. Okay, Angela, you're the Steelers. Y'all got beat down. Y'all got beat like y'all was stole something at your house. Well, we don't want to get into that. I don't want to start throwing shade on this morning. Yeah, I don't want to start doing that. Look, let's get right into this morning's manna. And this morning is next in line, a continuation of the word on yesterday at New Life. And it's the text to talk, the takeaway. Here's the text, John 5:7. John 5:7, you already know the situation. The situation is, it is the man at the pool of Bethesda. It's the man at the pool of Bethesda, and he wants to be healed. Here is what he says. When Jesus asked him, does he wants to be healed? He says, sir, he replied, I have no one to help me into the pool, and when the water is stirred, while I was trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me. He is always saying this, I'm always next in line. How is it that you continually are next in line, but never get the blessing that God has for you? You ever thought about that? The things that you're going through, what you're up against, you feel like I'm next in line. I really am, and I'm trying to do my best with that. But check this out. I have found that even this, when you're next in line, you got to do something. Number one, you cannot depend on the coulda, woulda, shoulda. The coulda, woulda, shoulda must end when you're next in line. Coulda, woulda, shoulda never spins into reality. It doesn't change a thing when you coulda, woulda, shoulda. Nope. Not at all. You can be next in line all you want to. How many of you know while you're next in line, it seems as though that line just slows up. And when you move into the wrong line. So what do? You cannot get into coulda, woulda, shoulda. You got to go to the second thing. You have to adapt and overcome. You have to adapt and overcome. It's an army saying, but I think it's applicable here in this text. If you notice, the man always says, the invalid always says that he's next in line. Everybody jumps in front of him. Well, at some point you would have thought, look, I want to be right on the edge. Put me right on, I'm going to crawl and get on the edge of the pool because I'm going to adapt and overcome, which is the third thing. I got to be flexible. You got to be flexible. When you're next in line for what God is doing and going to do in your life, you cannot be rigid. You cannot be so caught up into a legalistic approach to what God is doing that you miss that he has another way of doing it. You are next in line. But coulda, woulda, shoulda will not make the reality and change your situation. You are next in line. You have to adapt and overcome. Get closer to the pool. You are next in line. You must be flexible. See that God can do a different thing, a different way in your life. That's exactly what Jesus said. What did Jesus say? Here we are. Get up. He ignored all of that, what the man said. He just simply said, get up. So what's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this. Next in line does not mean something or someone is not going to get in front of you. Yeah. Next in line does not mean that something or someone is not going to get in front of you to prevent you to get to what God has for you. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more morning manna. Share the manna.